Test, 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 test. All right, and we're live. Oh wait, I gotta do the intro now. I was trying to come up with this earlier, so.
So what is your intro? Do you have one yet?
All right, welcome. That's kind of in the works. Allow chat. Yeah. Last time I wasn't getting that top chat. Allow. What is it?
So
Okay,
did you
cool.
write down the questions?
Yeah, I have them right here.
from-
So there's a whole bunch.
Okay.
We have a lot of interesting things to talk about. Well, actually, before we get into that. Hey, what's up? Welcome to the podcast. I'm Anthony. This is Gene, my good old friend from. When did we meet?
It has to be at least 10 years now. I think it's been well over 10 years.
I think high school still, right?
Yeah, high school years,
Damn.
but we didn't go to the same.
We
high
didn't even go to
school.
the same high school.
No.
You went to Sure?
I went to Montebello.
Montebello. Damn. Now, well, I went to Garfield.
We met at the skate park.
You were with Jay. That's how we met.
Yes.
You guys were together for like a little while, huh?
Yeah, we're
For
best,
like.
we're best friends now.
Yeah?
Yeah.
He's a cool guy. I haven't seen him in a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, good times.
Yeah, through him, right? Because we would go like almost daily.
Yeah, I lived at the skate park for a long time.
That was fun. And Alana would be there too.
Yeah. Test. Oh, I gotta switch these. Hold on. Got left and right. Test. Okay, there we go.
So we go way back.
Hold on, I gotta announce it on the IG.
We're live.
Damn, what the hell? Crazy. Oh. All right, what's up, guys? We're here live. Join us on the podcast. Link is in the description. We're live on my YouTube channel. Go now. All right, what's up, guys? We're here live. I'm so unorganized. Well, sometimes. Anywho's, yeah, these kids tend to get on here a little late, but yeah. So after that,
We lost touch. I feel like,
but not for too long, because I know you were with
I moved.
with Julian.
Oh yeah, that's
a little bit,
right. Oh
too.
my gosh, I went. We would meet up at gigs. Remember?
Yeah, that's you were a metalhead too.
I was, and I had my red
Damn.
hair. I miss my red
That was
hair.
a while ago. You had a lot of different hairs though.
Yeah, I've had it red. I've had it blue. I've had it purple. I haven't not had it pink. I want to try pink.
No,
No.
I feel like you've had it pink.
No, I
No?
haven't. I haven't. But
I
I
really
tend to
like.
always go back to black.
I liked your short hair when you had the bob.
Really?
That one looked cool.
Yeah.
That
What
was
the-
definitely what is it? A mom haircut. But it looked good. It looked good.
Okay.
And then I don't think
I had it. Wait, yeah, I had it blonde when I had it bobbed, right?
you
Yeah.
had blonde for a while. I remember the red when you were with Julian,
Yeah.
and then he
That's
had like
like
a
the
lazy
only
eye.
way we like looked good together because of my red hair, and like I didn't really look like a metalhead. Like
What happened? Like, were you like? Did you like the music, or you?
no,
were-
I really did.
Yeah?
I have a brother, so like I really did, and I like all types of my track record with guys has been all over the place because I like all kinds of music.
Yeah.
So it's not like I don't have like a specific
Oh,
type.
Bam. Oh, my
Yes.
friend says you're fine. You want to date him?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Are you?
I did. I'm single.
Nice.
I did get a few friend requests from your.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh man, I gotta check the comments. Who requested you?
I don't remember off the top of my head, but it was a
For
few.
sure, Brian. That was a Brian, right?
I'm not gonna say.
No, because he like any friend I introduce him to, he requests like he adds them.
Yeah.
He's a photographer, but he does do a
You
lot of
started doing
DMing.
that too, right? The photography. How's that going?
It's actually really good. I do more. I'm more on the. Oh, it's not even on here right now. I'm more on the marketing side.
Okay.
So, like I take pictures for businesses.
Like for clothing lines and stuff like
Clothing
that.
lines, people anybody who wants to pay me. I'll do it for them.
Because I know we were supposed to set one up and we never did.
That's
Yeah, I
right. That's
remember.
right. Yeah, what's up with that? When you want to do that? Huh?
Whenever.
I
wouldn't know where, like the location. Where do you usually shoot?
I mean, depends on what the shoot is. Like, what do you want to do?
Well, I've done a few mermaid ones already.
Yeah. What's your obsession with mermaids? I know
That
you
goes-
love water.
Yeah, it goes way back, like when I was growing up. So my mother like had designated like princesses for everyone. My older sister was like Cinderella.
Nice.
It was Cinderella, and then I was Ariel. Like since I was like, I have pictures like a baby when like Ariel shirts on, like she
Oh,
just
shoot.
yeah, and then my younger sister was Sleeping Beauty, Aurora.
Mhm.
But then it became more about the ocean. Like I started like getting into like marine bio, like, and once I got older and like I started paying attention. You know what? Like the first memory I have of like really being passionate about like the environment and like everything is I remember watching this commercial. I don't know if you remember it. It was like years back.
The Indian with a tear in his eye?
No. There was a commercial, and it was like a state California commercial, and you get these government FBI guys and knock on a house, and the woman opens the door and they just like dump a bunch of trash.
Oh,
Do you remember that? And they're like, "Oh,
Like,
ma'am, is California your home?"
Mhm.
And then she's like, "Yes, it's
I
why."
remember that one.
Yeah, and then like I started thinking about it, like this is our home, this is our like where we live, not just like these four walls of like a house. It's Earth is our home, and like ever since then, I just started like picking up trash. I hated people who litter. It's like, of course I do
Dude,
now.
I used to work at LA Fitness, and we would go out to like off-site
Mhm.
to bring clients. And I remember one time we went to a gas station, and this couple, really like ratchet looking couple, like I think they were driving a Beamer, but you can tell they were just really like ghetto.
Okay.
And then one of them threw something out, and I was like, dude, what the fuck? Like, pick up your trash. Like, I was mouthing it, and then she was driving. She talks to her husband, and like, and then they drive past us and throw all their trash out the window.
No,
And
you're
I'm like,
kidding.
dude, not even
To
against
spite
me,
you,
but it's
yeah.
like we all live here. Like that's dirty.
Yeah.
That's gross.
That's
it's like
that's how I feel.
your mama didn't teach you no manners,
Yeah.
kind of thing. That I was so pissed. I was so pissed. I was ready to fight. Like I don't know. It's just like how could you so blatantly just throw trash out like that?
Yeah.
As a joke. It's like I don't know.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I'm really like you either care or you don't, and it's unfortunate, but like that's when I started like really getting into it, like, and then little by little, like I started using kind of like the mermaid, you know,
the mermaid what?
The mermaid persona to like kind of make people aware of like the ocean, and like it's more so like out of sight, out of mind. More
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people don't care about the animals in there because we don't live inside the ocean, and it's plastic, it's straws. I don't use plastic straws.
Yeah.
It's a lot, and little by little it's coming along. I feel like there's more awareness now than there was like years ago.
All right, well let's take it this route. What's something someone can do if they don't know anything about it and they want to start helping?
The way I started out is coastal cleanups. So I started volunteering.
Yeah, you do spend a lot of time at the beach.
I literally, people don't believe me, I'm at the beach like once. I try to go twice a week, but it hasn't happened.
Where do you live right now?
I live in Downey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
My sister lives out in Downey.
Yeah, but I
Man, you've lived all over the place.
Yeah, I have. I love to move. I like change of scenery.
Yeah.
But it's really easy. Like if you really want to, you'll find a way. And like there's all kinds of like volunteer groups and even like Facebook groups that you can like join, and people who care, and it's so good to like hang with people that like care so much too, because most people don't, and it's hard to like connect. And I'm not one of the people like shove my beliefs on people's throats. Like I'm just more like spread awareness than anything.
You're not what is it, evangelist?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think that's something that's good. I mean, I would be like, yo, come on, man, pick up your trash.
Yeah. No, I once I remember I was at the beach and someone left their like, I don't remember what it was. It was like a can. and I was so upset, and like I yelled at him, and he was like a grown ass man, and I wasn't even like, you know, I didn't even pay attention to who he was. I was just like, could you not? And it's also affecting trails. Like a lot of like trails have been
like hiking
closing.
trails?
Yeah, because people don't pick up the trash.
Oh damn, I had no idea.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's and I love hiking.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, I do it every Sunday.
I don't know. I don't know much about you because we haven't talked or hung out in.
I mean, do you not?
Like I like a lot of your stuff because a lot of your stuff has a lot of like spiritual messages, and I'm like, oh, that's fucking tight. Yeah, that's cool. But I think the last time that we hung out or even talked was the Surf US Open, like
years ago. We saw Group Love.
Yeah. Oh, that was so much fun.
Oh my god, that was so fun. They don't do that anymore at US Surf Opens, right? They don't do
I don't know. I had that's the last time I went, and then we went to In-N-Out.
Yeah.
But that was such a cool day. Fun. Like even that band too, because that's when I was kind of transitioning away from metal, and I was like, I don't really like metal too much anymore. It's too aggressive for me now. Like I'm not an angry person anymore. Like anymore. No, I've channeled all that away. I like a more chill. And then I remember, was it the Pasadena? They do it like once a year.
What year?
I don't know. It's like a summer thing where they have music festival or something.
I don't know.
What? It's in Pasadena. I remember Group Love played, and I've never heard of them, but I got invited to go, and it was like it's free for the community. And I was like, oh my god, this is super fun. Like,
yeah, they did a lot of like small shows back then.
It was when Tongue Tied came out. Yeah, like it had just come out, and then that the Surf Open was like a couple months later.
Yeah,
and I was
we were front row. Remember?
Yeah, that was fun. I had those glasses for a long time.
Oh my gosh!
I think I have a picture on it on my Instagram.
Really?
I think so.
I think I might too. I was blonde. I remember I was blonde.
Yeah,
then.
You had. I think. I don't know if you had your daughter yet.
I think I did.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think she was young.
Damn.
I think that's one of I lived in Pasadena.
Yeah. Probably, I don't know.
Oh my god.
Damn. How old were you when you got pregnant?
20.
20. Oh, I remember I was like, what? Seeing your pictures on MySpace, I was like, Jean's pregnant? That's crazy.
I miss MySpace, TBH.
Hit or miss? What's up? MySpace was fun. I really like that.
It was so fun.
I like that you can like put music and
thing we had as like kids.
Yeah, customize. That's fun. You meet some crazy people on there. Any interesting MySpace stories?
I don't think so. I just remember posting a lot of like emo songs. Like.
Oh yeah, you were the emo girl. You had the bangs and the little bow, jet black hair.
You weren't cool if you were emo, like at least for a couple.
Jeez.
First phase.
I never.
You never got it.
Mm-mm.
Oh my.
I think the closest to like, I don't even know. Like I liked Avenged Sevenfold.
Okay,
I
love them.
But they weren't emo.
No, like I'm talking more like scene. Like.
I don't know. I don't even know any bands. Well, My Chemical Romance, they were considered like, right? Yeah. But they were more like poppy, mainstream kind of emo.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do we have any other memories from back then?
I mean, we met at the skate park.
We met at the skate park when you were with Jay.
And then when him and I broke up, I still went a lot because Alana and my friends were to be there all the time too.
I think we went to like a flyer party.
We went to a couple. We went to like I know for sure gigs.
Gigs for sure.
Yeah, and there was one there was a lot in El Sereno. I'm surprised before I knew about gigs, I didn't even know El Sereno existed. It's like I used to like the gigs up there because they wouldn't crack. I mean, they would crack, but they wouldn't get rated as often. Yeah, at least not until really late.
Yeah. You would party at least until 1.
Yeah, it was fun.
Sometimes 2. And it seems like a lot of a real cool crowd would check chat. Yeah, I'm checking the chat.
Any questions? Ask us stuff.
Yeah, what do you guys want to know about Jean? Dude, I feel like I've gotten so much fatter since then.
Oh
I used to be so skinny. You haven't changed at all.
No, I have.
You've had 2 kids and you haven't changed at all.
Yes, I feel like I have.
What do you think has changed? You don't look anything different.
I don't. 10 years later,
I don't know.
I did the 10-year challenge thing. A lot of people said I don't look different.
You don't look anything different. You still look like the day I met you.
No, I mean that's a good thing, I guess.
Yeah, you don't
I'm
even
gonna
have.
get carded until like I'm 50.
You don't even have like wrinkles or anything.
Oh,
You don't have crow's eyes or anything, or crow's feet. Jesus.
soon. Don't jinx me.
Huh? Not me. I got like
Question.
all this stuff, but then I partied a lot too.
I didn't.
Yeah, you were.
I was a good girl back then.
What? I've seen
I
you drunk.
was. No, now I feel
Well,
like
yeah.
I'm catching up because I became a parent and I was like,
You go out a lot though.
Now I
you
do.
How do you do that? Who takes
Now
care
I
of your kids?
do. My family, my mom.
Yeah.
So now I had like, to be honest, I had like a lot of mom guilt when I 1st
Mhm.
had my daughter, and I stood home like all the time, and I was with her dad, so it was like more of like a family lifestyle. I was like a stay-at-home mom for a while, and I didn't like it. I didn't
Yeah.
like not doing something. Like I wanted to be productive, and I went to school, and then I started working, and I felt, I kind of got my individuality back because
Mhm.
once I became a mom, I felt like I was just a mom.
You
and I
lost your
forgot.
identity.
Yeah, and I feel like a
that's
lot
not
of people
good.
go through that for like at least a little bit, and
Mhm.
I decided to just go back to school, and then I got support from my family to like do my own thing. So yeah, I feel like now it's like I do yoga, I meditate, I feel like I find time to myself, and it's like it's healthy. I feel like a lot of parents, especially older parents,
Mhm.
get that we need our time to be a better us for them.
Yeah.
Because if you're always with them, you're not gonna be fully there because you just it mentally drains you.
Yeah.
You need like social interaction.
What was that like? Like you're 20, you have a kid. Were you married?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, oh, Martin?
Ryan.
Yeah. He was a handsome dude.
Um,
he was like in the army too.
Yeah. So it was tough.
I remember we would talk a little bit because he
Yeah.
would post stuff and I'm like, hey, you all right? Like, what's going on? And then
Yeah, it's tough. It's
some trust issues going on or something.
No, it's more so like just being away from that, like, from the person.
That's hard.
It's tough. I mean, you're doing it now with your girlfriend.
Well, she's living here now, but
she's living here.
Yeah.
But for a while, you guys went back.
Yeah,
and forth
it was.
and,
We've been together for a little over 3 years now.
Okay.
3 years, 3 months, and
that's a long time.
But a lot of that time was apart.
Yeah.
So I would see her like once a month for like a week, maybe 2 weeks, sometimes even a month, where I would go over there, or she would come here. She'd spend a month here once, and then like 2 weeks, then 2 months, and then
crazy.
She spent 6 months here.
Did you miss her?
Yeah, it was hard. Yeah. It's hard because you get used to like sleeping together, just seeing each other every day, interacting. You kind of get into this rhythm of like, well, I mean, you've been there. You've had you've lived with your partners, and it's like, but then to like, I gotta go back now, and then to communicate through text or through just video.
So different, especially I had the time difference.
That's even harder.
Yeah, he was deployed at a time, and it was.
What was the difference there?
It was like night and day. Like when I was sleeping, he was getting up. It was crazy, and it's really hard. So I couldn't do it, and we just when we met, we were like 14, 15.
Oh, really? So you guys knew each other for a while.
So yeah, so I feel like we really.
Would you mind grabbing that tea over there? That red one.
We really don't know who we are at that age.
Yeah.
And
wow, that's a long time.
Yeah, and I became like really like hippie. Like, my morals came in, and I started like just watching documentaries and just, educating myself in a lot of stuff going on in the world. And he was in the military, and so we had like a lot of opposing views.
And when your values aren't the same, that can be tough. Kids, I've always wondered what meditation brought into your life, like what positive, and if there are, what negatives does it bring into your life, and how does it improve you? Well, actually, I think this is a good question for you because like almost everything you post is pretty insightful, very spiritual. Which I want to get into that too. Like,
Okay.
what caused?
My spiritual
Yeah,
awakening.
yeah.
um, it started, I want to say, like 3-4 years ago. Honestly, I was in a really bad place because after
Tell us about it.
after that happened, I was in a bad relationship.
That being breaking up with
my daughter's dad.
Yeah.
So, long story short, it was a toxic relationship, and I felt like I needed a lot of cleansing after everything that happened, and a lot of solitude, a lot of alone time, because I was very used to the company and like little things like going shopping with someone. I was very used to that companionship, and I think I didn't know what self-care was. I didn't know what alone time was. And
yeah, you were so dedicated to your daughter.
Yeah, I was a wife and a mom. That's what I was. And after a couple of years, I decided to open up to just other aspects of my life. And I felt like every time I would sit down and read, like I chose a lot of self-care books because I wanted to do. Yeah, they really are.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, self-care books were like how I got into everything.
What did you start with?
Mindfulness. So it's like a lot of like it was a lot of mindful minute.
Mindfulness.
So it's like guided. It's you base it off your routine, and every day, no matter how busy you are, you have to have like a couple minutes of mindfulness, of conscious thinking, of conscious, just stop for a minute, stop what you're doing, and think about
mindfulness.
Yes, mindfulness. Cool. My favorite one, the one I started off was called Quiet Mind. I think it was called Quiet Mind, and it's like mindful minutes. So you take a couple minutes out of your day and just do nothing. And that's how I started. And it felt so good. It felt so good to just like take a pause and from my hectic life. So that's how I started. And then I got into guided meditation first.
Yeah.
So that is So guided meditation, the one I started off with was like you have to mouth certain phrases, the words, and then say it out loud.
Mantras.
Yes, and then little by little you just like say it in your head rather than saying it out loud, and then you drift and like it happens. And I can't explain the feeling. I just can't.
Have you reached that point of like nirvana?
Yes, it's not even like people concentrate too hard on letting go, and I feel like once you do, like it's really addicting to just I don't know how to explain it.
Because I had the same thing, and the way that I started too was I don't remember how I started. I think when YouTube was starting out,
like a lot of YouTubers.
Something popped up and it said, I think my parents always meditated. They've always been very spiritual. But I remember I got into like what got me into meditating was I heard of astral projecting and like getting out of your body, and I was like, oh, that sounds super cool. Like I like remote viewing and all this. So I was like, oh man, this is super cool. So I started looking into it, and I found this series on YouTube, and I would just lay down and meditate. Like I would do the sitting one when you like sitting meditation, but I like my head would fall and I would fall asleep, and I felt like I couldn't get there. So I started just laying down. I would lay down. I would go like in the grass at the park or whatever, and just like
the grass is a good spot.
Yeah. Sometimes there's ants in it. Like, it's really like it tests your patience and concentration. But
nature.
After like 2 weeks of practicing, I was able to like stay awake and do longer and longer. And then I always felt like that sinking feeling of like, okay, I feel heavy or lightness, but I can never get to that point of like, man, I don't feel like I'm
I'm getting like I'm not where I should be.
I feel like you're thinking too much about it.
I
Like,
was,
yeah.
and then my friend as a gift, she gave me quartz crystals. She gave me quartz crystals, and then like little different stones for each chakra, and she's like, put these on these points, like look it up. And I was like, okay, so this red one goes here. Yeah, of course. Tiger eye on your solar plexus, the like just different ones for the heart and like third eye and all that.
Yeah.
And it was crazy because I almost immediately I felt the difference. I was like, oh wow, this is crazy.
Yeah.
And I just started. I remember that day. I just started focusing on my breath. I was like, hey, just take deep breaths all the way in, all the way out, and it just nonstop.
I feel like the breathing is a huge part of it.
I think that's all it is.
Yeah.
It's just focus on your breath, and then like you start doing things, and then point being, I got to this point where I was like, okay, I felt the sinking, and I felt like super light, and then I started feeling I started seeing like clouds and like I had my eyes closed, but I started seeing like colors and clouds, like pink and green, orange, yellow, like all these different colors, kind of just clouds but swirling. And then I felt my ears really hot, my feet really hot, and my hands really hot, and like electricity on the inside. And it started coming up, and I was getting kind of scared because it was a different feeling. I was just like, what is this? But it was like, this feels right. Like I wasn't scared. It was just kind of like, this is a new feeling.
Yeah.
And it was coming up. And then as it was starting to rise, I could, in my head, I could see like, if you were going through this light, just like boom, 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 like rings of light. And it started getting faster and faster. The higher the feeling came. And then it came to my heart, and I felt this super warmth and like just peace. And I was like, oh, this feels really nice, but this is insane. Like, what's happening?
Yeah.
And I kept breathing. Like I knew if I opened my eyes, it would ruin it. So I just kept the concentration. And when it reached my third eye, just this explosion of light, like in my eyes, and it's just pink, bright light. And I felt like weightlessness, and like I stood up, and I was like, whoa, that's crazy. And like I got up to go to come outside, but my hand went through the door. And I was like, oh and
God.
Everything had this kind of gold tint to it. And I was like, oh, and I looked back, and I saw myself laying down, and I was like, oh my God. And then I opened my eyes, but I thought they were open already. And then I was like, and I stood up, and I thought in my head, like the feeling, I was like, oh man, this is the craziest 15 minutes. Cause it didn't feel like a long time, but 2 hours had passed. And I was like, what?
2 hours?
Yeah, it was crazy.
Gosh, that's
and then I just felt like euphoria. I just felt the super peace. I went outside, and I was like, man, look at these plants. They're so beautiful. Look at this bee. And this bee landed on me, and I was just like, oh, thank you so much. Little ladybug. I picked it up. I just felt like walking around and appreciating, and I was looking at people walking by, and I was like, hi.
I was gonna say that you feel like appreciation for everything afterwards.
And it feels so good. Actually, somebody said here, like if there's any positives or negatives, the negatives I think are actually positives because
I have a few negatives.
Huh?
I have a few negatives.
Oh yeah?
I feel like negatives for me were it's not linear. Like you have your days, it's like up and down. I feel like for me, spiritual awakening has been very like it's been a roller coaster in a good way. I feel like it's a lot of like you start questioning so much. You start feeling like you want more purpose in life. You want it's a lot to take in at first. It can be overwhelming. So that's something that I've talked to some people who told me that they felt really overwhelmed at first, but once
like a buildup of stress or what?
It's not. I don't know. They one of my friends said that she felt very like overwhelmed with the sense of like, you know, awakening, and like she's like, I feel like most people aren't living like you know, and there's a lot of like frustration that goes with that. It's like you want to help others, you want to help them be conscious, and I feel like everyone in their time is going to see it in their time, because if you try forcing it, it's just not gonna happen.
Yeah.
And I feel like it happened to me at the right time of my life, and you know, with you, I feel like it happened a lot earlier. Like I
was,
remember you were like
'cause I still had
posting
long hair.
so much about like
Positivity
yeah,
and yeah.
so I was like PMA all day.
Yeah.
Like, I remember, and I still wasn't back then. I was very like
I was like hyper positive at that
yeah, I
time.
remember.
I feel like lately I've been thinking like I need to get back into that energy, that mindset.
You are. I feel like you still are.
No, I think
What do you think is keeping you from
responsibilities, stresses growing up.
life?
Like back then I was like, oh, I don't have
I
to.
can't breathe.
Okay, so maybe we can. What signs are given to show that a relationship is toxic or not working? That's a good one. Maybe you want to take over for this one.
Okay, so I'm just gonna throw it out there. Jealousy is not cute. A lot of people romanticize like being, you know, people minimize jealousy a lot, and I feel like I missed a lot of red flags. I didn't, or I kind of saw them and I didn't really pay it. Like I didn't care, to be honest.
Blinded by love, huh?
Yeah. It started off with jealousy. I was told that the same light he saw in me, he didn't want anyone else to see, because I'm very social. I'm very friendly. I'm a people pleaser at heart. So I just want to make everyone happy. And he hated that, of course. He was like, I don't want anyone to be attracted to that like I was. So it started off like him dimming my light, isolating me. So anyone who isolates you, tells you who to talk to, I feel like that's a red flag. Even if it's even if it's like, I feel like the only reasonable excuse would be like exes, you know. But anyone threatened by the opposite sex, or you know, it's just. I have my best friend, like a lot of my best friends are my closest friends. I don't know if you know, like Aaron, Jay.
I think I know
them,
Aaron.
Yeah, I've known them for over a decade. They're some of my best friends, and it's completely platonic, you know.
Yeah.
And I believe in platonic relationships.
And I think it's possible to have, like, a lot of people say like, like if there's a man and women, there's always going to be that sexual tension. I've had platonic friends for a long time that I'm just like, nah, dude. Like,
I feel like there's like a time frame where after like a certain time
you just
don't see them that way. Even if you wanted to, you just don't.
Yeah.
And you know, I feel like I ignored that, and I was like, oh, I romanticized it. I was like, that's cute. He gets jealous, but there's a fine line between jealousy and possessiveness, and you need to like recognize that. If you see that, talk to them about it. If communication doesn't help, then you need to get away, because it only gets worse.
Communication, I think, is everything.
Yeah. So definitely isolation, jealousy, and for me, it really went downhill when we lost respect for each other. So
how?
Name calling.
Oh, like
yeah. It was pretty bad.
Bitch.
It was pretty bad. I remember one time I mentioned that like no guy had ever called me the B word, and I feel like that was like the green light for him to like just do it every single day. And
you gave him the ammo.
Yeah.
But see, then he betrayed that, you know.
Yeah, but I feel like once respect is out the window, once name calling happens, like you either stop it immediately or you need to break up, because you know that allows so much other stuff to happen, and it's just
there has to be that line of like, I mean, one thing is you're playing around and you say like, maybe not at them, but just a word.
Yeah. I mean, how are you and your girlfriend? Do you guys like?
We don't yell at each other.
But name calling or
no. I mean, we poke fun at each other, like we tease each other, but even if we're mad at each other or we're arguing, we don't even. We talk about things. Like, it never goes a day or 2, 3 maximum, but that's even rare. That if we feel like, hey, you've been very quiet lately, or you've been very distant, or she'll tell me too, like, what's wrong, what's on your mind, like you're thinking, like you're in your head, talk to me. Our pillow talk is like the best, because that's when we're like, we'll be hugging us, and we're really open, and we give each other that space to be vulnerable and be like, hey, you know what, honestly, I felt this way because like recently she was she's been very quiet, and I was like, hey, are you okay? Like I feel really, I feel a little sad because like you seem very annoyed by me or frustrated. I don't know, you're just
Distant?
like I feel being around you, you're annoyed because you're quiet, or you just have this like pissed off face. And she's like, oh, like she's like, oh, I didn't even notice I was being that way, I'm sorry. um I mean, she had a couple other stresses too, because she just started working, and she's just started today another job, so she's working 2 part-time jobs.
How recent did she move permanently out here?
Well, she's not even here permanently
She's
yet.
not.
Yeah,
Okay.
so she actually has to go back in May.
So that alone is like a lot to be going back and forth.
It's tough.
Yeah.
It's definitely tough. But yeah, we've never. I think the worst we've ever gotten was we went to see the Backstreet Boys when I was
Love the
Nick
Backstreet
Carter's
Boys.
assistant way back.
Dude, I saw that.
Yeah.
How did you even like land that?
I worked an award show as an assistant, just like, help put these things together, like not really nothing meaningful,
Mhm.
but I was working hard and working so good, and the coordinator, the one who was in charge of putting that show together, I knew she was the one in charge, so I was going up to her like, hey, can I help you with
Oh
anything?
my god.
I was being such a kiss ass. But I noticed she was like really like, I was giving her a lot of attention because I knew she was tired. So without her asking, I would bring her a chair or some water. I'm like, hey,
Mhm.
have a drink. You seem stressed out. Sit down.
Mhm.
And she's like, oh, thank you. You're so sweet. And at the end, she's like, hey, I'm gonna be working on a project in a couple months. Would you be interested? You would just be, helping out talent, which I didn't know what that meant. I was like, okay, cool. Like, I'm getting paid, awesome.
That's so rad.
And then
like I was really jealous when I saw your bill. I was like, oh my god.
me too. And then like I didn't even know till the day of production. Like, okay, so you're assigned to Nick Carter, and I was like, oh my god. He's super cool. He's a metalhead too.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Guess.
He's actually pretty cool friends with the drummer from System of a Down.
Shut up.
Yeah. I remember we talked about like Metallica, and
So you were able to talk to him and
yeah,
like,
I was in his dressing room with him a lot. Like I would take his meal order.
Uh-huh.
They'd be waiting in
That's so
between. We'd have a couple, like an hour or two, just kicking it. I was basically there to just be like, hey, do you need anything? Do you want anything? I need to take a picture of your outfit, send it to like whoever. So it was cool. I got to know him pretty well. He's a cool guy. Really, really awesome dude.
Yeah.
Super professional too. I met all the other guys too. Oh man, it's cool.
God.
But they invited me.
Do they still have the residency? I wanted to go see them. I don't think they do, right?
I think this is the last year.
No.
Oh, I don't know if it already finished in December, or if they might have one. I don't remember.
Because I'm like a huge Britney fan. So I'm
Does she still have her?
Yes.
Yeah?
She's
been there forever.
Yeah, she
Jesus
renewed
Christ.
it. Every time I think I'm gonna miss her because she's gonna stop, she renews it, and I get so excited. And I might go in March, so I'm excited.
If you go, let me know.
Yeah.
I'd be down to go. 20 was a personal Siri. So
I
but
can't read.
fuck, where was I going with this? Oh yeah, so we went to there. They gave us Nick got us VIP. We got drinks. Like we got super drunk. Like super drunk.
You and
She got not as drunk as I did, but we took a good amount of shots. And then I ended up throwing up on her leg or her foot.
You didn't.
Yeah, and she wasn't so mad about that. She was mad that at the end of the night when we were all like, all right, let's go. Oh, because we went with my mentor in his bus, and we stood on his bus. Tony, I'll give you $1 per day if you become my personal chef. I'm not that good of a chef, man. But yeah, if you want to give me money, fuck yeah. But you have to come over here. And then, so I ended up throwing up on her foot, and then we're like, okay, let's go. And everybody was drunk. Everybody was drunk. So we were one of the guys that we were with. He couldn't stand up, so we were walking him out, and we were going out through the original way. But I remember when I got out of the restroom, the security guard was like, "Hey man, you want to get out? There's another exit here." So I was like, we were already waiting in line to get out, but I was like, no, let's go this way. So we went through people again. It just took long. She got mad that I was being stubborn when we were already like at the exit.
Yeah.
And then we were having like everybody got on the bus, and we were having this like shouting match, and I was mad that she was like yelling at me, and I was like, hey, I'm trying to be like, I don't know. We were drunk, but we never called each other names. Like there was never name calling, but I remember I cussed like fuck. Like I forgot what she
I
said.
feel like in the midst of everything, I feel like cussing, like it's kind of like sometimes a natural reaction, but I don't think it's okay to use like
Directed at them.
Yeah.
No, she got upset, and she pushed me, and I tripped backwards and hit the bus. But there was this little piece on the bus that came out, and it hit my back, and it hurt for a long time. And she thought I was faking it, and I'm like I fucking hurt myself. Ow! I was in pain, and I was drunk, and I was so pissed. I was so pissed that I had to get away. I was like, leave me alone right now. Like I'm too angry. I'm too upset. I don't want to yell at you. I need to calm myself down, so I need to remove myself from you.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, leave me the fuck alone. Just leave me alone. Go over there. I don't fucking care. Go away from me. I was pissed, and I was drunk, but it was never against her. I think that's the worst.
And how did she react? Or like
I've never cussed.
okay.
I've never cussed. I've never raised my voice. But she was drunk and I was drunk, so she
Alcohol.
Yeah. So she was like, oh, he's upset. But I told her, I was like, I'm gonna be back. I still love you, but I'm just really upset right now.
Yeah.
And I need to get away from you.
Yeah.
And I think she kind of like she understood that. So she's like, okay. And she got on the bus, and I was like, please just get on the bus. Just get on the bus. Just get on, like I was just pissed. Just leave me. Like she kept trying to like push me, and I was like, just leave me alone. And then I walked away to I walked away because we were in a parking lot, and I just started punching this box. I ended up messing up for a long time too, because I punched the shit out of it.
Why do guys do that?
Because we're men, we're aggressive. Like
No excuse. I feel like
it feels good. Like it really releases the anger. Because after that, I was like, okay. I released the frustration I had, and I yelled. Like that really helps me when I'm pissed. I yell as loud as I can. And I'm like, and I started beating the shit out of this box.
When you needed it, you should have just meditated.
No, I was too angry to get into that space. I was like, but I did breathe. Like I released that, and I was like, okay, I'm not mad anymore. And I was like, okay, breathe. Yeah. But that's probably the worst it got. Yeah. Luckily, no, I've never hit a woman. No, I just wasn't raised that way. I can't. Yeah. But let's see here. And I just, me too. I'm just really hungry. Sounds like you've been planning this, Matthew. Tony's story, and he was making food. Low key, want a Philly cheesesteak. Homie, it's like good. 10 p.m. JK. Bruh, I'll eat at any time of the day. So, don't make it home before 5. League Legends. Get me for no reason. Sometimes like this can get me super mad. How can I fix that? Punch my own knuckles or knees. Find your release. Something that really helps me when I'm upset, when I'm really mad, is expressing it verbally or writing down, like journaling. I've had journals since 2008 where I just write about my day, what I was upset about. Just stuff like that. Yeah, mostly that. Just stuff like that. But yeah, how do you relieve your stress or your anger, frustration?
I have a couple ways. What are the questions? Are they asking some?
They're saying, do men have periods? Uh, anyways, how do you?
Well, I feel like now yoga helps me a lot with my stress level, but when it comes to anger, I do free write. So I write a lot. I took a lot of like communication classes, so like journalism. So I love to write. And
You took journalism?
yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And so I write. I take baths. I do a lot of self-care, and I find now, honestly, I've noticed so much like of a difference. And when I get angry, I find myself like having secondary thoughts. Like it's not emotion driven anymore. Before it was, I used to get really emotional. I'm like the type that like cries when they're angry. Like I'm just very frustrated. I don't get mad. Like I don't yell. I just get really like upset. And a lot of time, like now, I just think about like we can't control other people's like reactions or their words. You can't control anything. You can only control what you're doing, your behavior, your reaction to whatever they're doing. And a lot of time I found myself trying to change the other person, so like my ex or a family member or something. And then I was very frustrated with why can't this work? Why can't we communicate? And now I'm very much in charge with like what I say, and if they're gonna take it the way they're gonna take it, interpret it. But I feel like now I don't take it personal.
Yeah.
I don't take it personal because I feel like it's a reflection of their mood, not yours. It's not.
Yeah.
It's a lot of the time. It's like when you get a compliment. Honestly, sometimes it's because the person's happy, and once it's the same vice versa. If you get someone attacking you, it's because maybe they've had a rough day, or like it's honestly it's true. And I've learned to not think like the world doesn't revolve around me, even though sometimes it feels that way when people are being dicks to you. But yeah, so it's a lot of like pulling back and just knowing that it's not personal, and not letting anyone get under your skin. I feel like it's about like how you perceive yourself, and later they feel bad because you're not reacting the way they are, and sometimes they get angry.
I always thought it was crazy or interesting how people would get upset that like people would get mad at me, or I had my ex would get mad at me for being too happy. I remember one time I was we were having some issues, and she was just really upset with me a lot. And I'm like, well, what's going on? Like, why are you mad? Like, what? I was in high school. I was like, what can I do to make this better? Me being a man trying to fix everything. Like, what can I do? How can I fix this? Like, there's got to be something. And she's like, no, you're a good boyfriend. I'm like, but then what? Because like you're always upset. And she's like, I just hate that you're always happy. And that's when I was like, oh, this is the wrong relationship. Yeah. Like you're me being happy makes you unhappy. Like you want me to come down to your level and be unhappy. I'm like, nah. Yeah. That's when I realized I was like, this isn't a good relationship.
That's what you call a Debbie Downer. Like I've had that too. That's how that's how my ex was. And it's
right.
No, my this recent one. Mm-hmm. I know it's very like I felt almost odd to be so happy all the time, because it was such a like night and day difference. He was always like, he saw the negative in everything, and I couldn't live like that. I'm like, I wake up and I'm thankful for everything, and he was always like the type of person who nitpicks at everything he doesn't have instead of like being grateful for what he does. So I feel like you need to distance yourself from negative people who are only gonna bring you down, because they're energy suckers, and I want to protect my aura and only be around people who want to uplift people.
I think that's Oprah said it best. I forgot exactly what she said, but it's like you can't control the people, but you can control the energy you're around.
Yeah.
So like if there's people that are constantly putting you down, you need to get out of there.
Yeah.
You need to get away from them. Only surround yourself, like don't surround yourself by yes men who are like
Yeah.
everything you do is great, because you do need people to give you feedback, but people who support what you're doing and help you out,
Yeah.
not people that are like you can't do that. I just stop already. Like
Yeah,
you
because
don't need
I
downers.
also feel like enablers aren't good either.
Mhm.
Like, you know, people who are gonna agree with you even though you're in the wrong. Like, I don't feel
Yeah.
like that's okay.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of those too, and
You need the friends to tell you, a good friend to be like, hey dude,
yeah,
this isn't good. Like you got like this is bad for your health or whatever.
yeah,
Like, yeah, you need that good friend.
yeah.
What do you think about zodiac signs?
So yes,
I remember when I
Is
was
it because I'm a girl?
no like in when I was younger, I used to like relationship wise or meeting people, I would be like, no, if we're not
Oh, you were
compatible,
one of
I'm not even
those.
gonna like if I met anybody, I'd be like, what's your zodiac sign?
Do you know there's people who live like that? Like their everyday life depends on that. I mean, I think it's pretty general to the point where everybody thinks it's about them.
Mhm.
And so even though I'm a girl, I'm not huge on all that.
Like, what about like the ascending and moon signs?
Okay. No, I mean yes and no. I'm more so like with crystals and chakras and all that. Like I charge my crystals and full moon, but I don't really believe in all that like sign stuff.
I used to be very like, okay, our signs aren't compatible. I'm not even gonna talk to you.
You used to do like there's little tests like you could put online you put
their birthdays.
Yeah. And then you would figure out if they were a soulmate or not.
Yeah. I realized that was like BS when I had met I went on a date with this girl that everything was perfect, like to the date, to the time we were born, like we were supposed to be soulmates, and then we met and I was like, we have nothing in common. There's no chemistry here. This is like yeah. And I was like, yeah. I think to answer your question,
do you believe it like now? Are you big on it?
I think they're very general, but I don't base my life on it. I think there's like, yeah, that makes kind of sense, but I'm not gonna make a decision based on the zodiac sign.
Do you believe the personality traits are on point? Like when it comes to Scorpios are really self-centered, Geminis are crazy, like the stereotypes.
No, because there's always exceptions. Like I know, because I've had friends that are supposed to be my opposites and we're not supposed to get along at all, where they're my best friends, or like, personality traits that say like, oh, they're supposed to be this way, but they're the complete opposite. So I'm like, I don't base it on that. I just say like, what's the vibe? Like, what do you feel when you're with that person, friendship or intimate? It's like, if it feels good, go with the feeling.
Yeah.
But let's see what else we have here. Dumb question. If the human centipede was real, who's not gonna answer that one.
Maybe
second murder was me like skin guy. I don't know. But I think we're gonna end it here because I know I have to get back home by 10:30, which is right across the hall. But I don't think we even got to any questions.
Did we not? We should answer.
Here, let's answer some.
Quick recap.
Oh, workout routines. You guys are starting out. If you have a gym, go to a gym. YouTube anything. What I started out with was every day. I start out with 25 push-ups, 25 pull-ups, and 25 sit-ups, and then do that every day. And then when it becomes easy, add another 25, and then try. I would say push yourself. Just keep pushing yourself. It's important to do cardio no matter what. So minimum 30 minutes. If you can get up early before school or even after or work, whatever, just try to put that in your life because you need to work out your heart. That's like the strongest muscle in there. Healthy heart is important. That would be the basic one. What about you?
I go to the gym.
Did you go to the gym?
I really got time for that with my schedule. I try to do the hiking every week, and I do daily yoga. And it takes a lot more strength than you think.
Yeah.
But once you get into it,
A lot of core strength.
Yes.
Hold your body up.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know if you want to answer this one. I don't know if that's.
You go first.
Favorite sex position. I like missionary. I like facing my girlfriend and like. I feel it's more intimate. Just on the intimacy, but just depends where we're going here. But I'm gonna leave it there. I'm not gonna go into details because that's personal. But if you want to answer, I don't know.
I don't know. I think I like the.
Let's skip it. Let's just skip it. Worst rumors or secrets shared about you?
Worst rumors or secrets. I don't know. I don't think I've ever. I mean, a lot of the time, I get that I look like I'm not. I have resting bitch face, even though I'm like.
Really?
Yeah. Once I start talking, like,
I've never.
Once I start talking, like, I'm very cheerful. But if you see me at work, if you see me like, especially reading, like, I look very unapproachable. And I didn't believe it until someone like took pictures of me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I've been told like I just look unapproachable. But once you start talking to me, it's not the case.
Rumors or secrets shared about me. I don't know. Did you ever hear any rumors about me?
No, everybody likes you. You're a likable person. High school. Mm-hmm.
No. All right, skip that one. Do women think compliments are kind of like catcalling nowadays?
You know what? I just posted something about this on Facebook.
Yeah?
Okay,
what was it?
So there's a video, and there's these like a bunch of men just catcalling, and they think that we think it's a compliment, or they think we should take it as a compliment, and I don't agree. And if you want to talk to a girl, take it from a girl, like approach her in respectful way, let her know you're interested, and then work your way into flirting once you know she's interested too. Because if you just you don't know, you just look like an idiot. And yeah. And it's not cute, it's not flattering if you see some people giggling because they're uncomfortable. I have not met one woman who thinks catcalling is okay.
I don't know one woman that likes to be objectified.
Yeah.
I would say, guys, if you wanna like flirt with a girl or compliment a girl, don't compliment anything sexual. Like, damn girl, you fine. Compliment her like, hey, I like your style. Like, I like your clothes.
And don't get me wrong. Once you're in a relationship,
once you're in a relationship, like, damn girl, you fucking fine. But if you don't know a person, if you don't know a girl, you're not gonna be like, damn girl, what's up? What them lips do? No, don't do that. You'd be like, one thing I would do, it's like, hey, I like the way you combine your clothes. You got nice style. Which is kind of weird, but it's like, it's not
but
common.
Girls take that as a very high compliment because,
or like, I like your makeup.
Yeah, because we put effort into like a lot of it, and it's not so much as our bodies, but we know you're looking at them if you're looking at our style.
But once you get the digits, then like, damn girl, that ass is nice. And then last one would be worst high school mistake you've made, or that can be made.
I think the worst mistake that could be made is just categorizing yourself and staying in one circle of friends, because I had different groups of friends. I had like of all kinds of, like skater friends, my like dance friends, and it's it would be a mistake to just stay in one group and not explore, because you learn from a lot. You learn from different people, different opinions. And
Diversity.
be open. Be
Yeah.
open to making friends with everyone.
I think the biggest mistake somebody can do in high school is lose, like, if you know you don't want to do something, like give in to peer pressure,
Mhm.
or give up your identity to please your friends. Like if you don't want to do something, like, nah, I'm not gonna do it. But it's like, oh, come on, you're being a bitch, don't be gay, blah blah blah, or like don't try to impress people. If it's not something you genuinely want to do or believe in, just be like, nah, I'm not gonna do it. You know, stand true to your beliefs.
That's a really good one.
Because then you end up on porn sites. And, you don't want to do that.
Oh my god.
But well, this was cool. Hopefully you're back here someday, and we don't lose touch.
Scary.
Right?
Yeah.
That was easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not another 10 years.
You want to? Where can they find you? You want to plug anything? Should lead them somewhere.
At
Something they should
Merbabe.
know.
At Merbabe is my Instagram.
What do you want to be on? What do you want to be known for when you die?
Wow. I think I want to be known for. That's a really difficult one you just threw at me.
Throw the hard hitting questions here.
I don't know. I don't think I have an answer to that. That gives me something to think about.
Yeah. Find the answer on her Instagram. So you're gonna have a bunch of high school kids follow you right now. Alrighty, guys. See you next week. Tell your friends. Oh, and I'm gonna do another YouTube channel for the podcast alone. So follow me on Instagram, and you'll see the updates. But next week it's not gonna be on this. It's gonna be on its own channel. So
that's exciting.